If I can do this again without where it makes me not sound like an idiot. What's up, guys? Ishto here, and today we're going to be I'm going to be teaching everybody how to build this some of the stuff that I have on the cartographer map and how to build natural terrain. Now, the stuff on this map is going to be hard to build, kind of, and you kind of will have to figure out where the magnets for these objects need to be. Now, that is not exactly how that's supposed to be, but somehow it works. Kind of. Now, what I mean by kind of works is the fact that that's not exactly where that... So, the thing I've been having a hard time trying to figure out right now is where some of these magnets are and where they're supposed to go, because when I built this, I don't exactly remember where some of the objects were at. So forgive me if like some of this guide is not extremely super helpful at the first, but we'll get there eventually. Now, with this map, well, with this little tutorial, I'm going to try to show you in best detail of how I built some of these hallways and how to build them. Now, on each of these extra, now we're using extra large ramps. Now, with each of these, the magnets have to be in a certain place for the structure to look perfectly fine. Where this is at now, this is great. Now, these magnets need to be placed right where, as you can see, are those two bottom ones. I can't really use those two bottom ones on the right there. If I can look at it right there, you have to kind of match it up with the other two magnets that is on on the bottom extra large ramp, and that there will make sure that it gives you this nice, little design here for this hallway. It gives you that nice combat evolved feel to it. Now, not every single one of these is going to look the exact same from when you first build it, and I will say that with the biggest grain of salt, because for me, these are hard to build because I don't remember them right off the bat, because it's been again a couple weeks since I have forged the map because of Destiny 2. But as we will build this here now, as I've said in the okay, as I said in the cartographer video, if you haven't seen that, go check the map out so you can know what I'm talking about. I used the bunker round as the base floor for the front bit. Now I want again, this here makes a perfect floor for you. It makes a beautiful, perfect little round floor for kind of like an interior structure, and it's something that you kind of have to improvise with, because if you have this as a repeated floor constantly, this now I've said this before, and someone thought I was just being too harsh. I'm going to try to say this without sounding too harsh. This won't look very good if you just have a constant floor that's just over and over again the same exact thing again and again and again. It will get boring. I mean, you probably could make it, not look boring by kind of switching it up and making the floor like different areas like this, kind of like how I'm doing right here. Like, this could be a decent floor, but you kind of want to switch it up so that way it's not a repeat of the same thing, like the same object. And that's why I used the bunker round for the front floor and the interior of that one map. Now, building something like this is really hard to do, especially with the magnets in this game. The magnets in this game is not the greatest. This was, I think, the second prototype before they made the magnets like they did in Halo 5. In Halo 5, the magnets are a lot better, and they're not super, glitchy and all that. and they work a lot better than what they do in this game, which I am so thankful for that. Thank you for 343. But you kind of have to try to do your best with not messing it up, and try to get the magnets to go like this perfectly, so that way you have this nice, beautiful hallway. Now, what we're going to work on first is the front area. Now, real quick, if you're this far into the video, you've probably already noticed the video is probably going to be a bit long, and if it's not very long, then it's because I wanted to put this in about 2 parts to show in detail of exactly how to do this. Now, what we're going to do to fix this little area here, now, unless you're going to have some amazing, beautiful structure just kind of sitting out in the open, do what I'm doing here. To prevent this thing looking really weird, what I ended up doing is I took a wall coliseum on Cartographer, take off magnets for right now, and we're going to put this right about here. Now, you don't want, what am I trying to say? Okay, let's try to, okay, there we go. Now, you don't want these the details, these little bar side bits to poke out of the wall. And you don't want a wall that's too based on metal, since all of these objects do have concrete on one side of them. I'll turn the wall coliseum on the flattest side that it has, like this. And then what you'll do next is you'll take another one, put over here, obviously. Now, what I'll probably do is I'll probably cut here and there, like in the video, so that way we can cut to like a finished product to see what something will look like, because I do have that option now. Now we'll do that, and then we'll go to our natural terrain. Now, this is the part where I will start telling people how natural terrain works in this game. Now, the one thing you don't want to do is have a repeat of the same thing. This is the thing that annoys me more than anything, is when I see something like this on a map, is where somebody just stacks it over and over again and they think it looks good, but it just looks downright terrible. Now, that probably sounded really mean and rude, but to be honest, I don't really care. If I'm going to be a critic, I'm going to be a critic. This looks bad. If you're going to do something with cliffs, make sure it's not a repetitive thing. Make sure that it has its own, it has its own natural look. Nature is random. Nature is very random. It's not that hard to make like a random design for like a rock area. It's not that hard. You just kind of got to put rocks in a way that would look like you would be in real life. You kind of just have to feel it. Now, what I've done over time is I'll go around. I live in Tennessee, so I'll go around in Gatlinburg or something like that. I'll look around, and when I go on vacation, I'll look around and be like, oh, that's interesting how those rocks formed like that. I'll probably try to design something like that on a map that I'm going to make. Or I'll do something of some sort like that, so that way we have like an idea of, oh, that's what nature looks like. And that's kind of the idea of that's kind of my best advice to give at the moment. But what we want to do here is try to make sure that wall coliseum isn't too extremely visible. Now, now we'll have this kind of hang right there, make it look like a cliff. Kind of have it hang. And we'll put another one over here, with this side being like this. And because this one's curved, we can kind of have it hang a little bit. Now, some cliffs and whatever kind of just hang over a little bit. Now, we'll try to make sure it's not hanging over too much, because we're making a remake of kind of like the style of cartography. We need to have the one big dish thing hang out above all of this. So, we got our area here. We got what we need. Now, what we need to do next is we need to take this and put this up here. Now, why are we putting this up here? Well, Completely forgot that you can change the color of it. We need to have a thicker roof, a thicker ceiling bit here that leads to the next bit that we're going to build. Because if we just have this flat right here, and when we put our next few pieces to build the over ramp, it's not going to look great, because it's going to look like the structure is really skinny, it's really thin, and we don't want a structure that doesn't look like it, like if over time it could, like in about a month, it could break really easily, or like in a few days. So we want to have, that nice little design. Now, the next thing we're going to use is these. And the other reason why we have that there is so that way this has something to kind of phase into. So this is not all the way sticking up like this. So that way we can do that there. Now, I don't really know where the center bit of this is. It's kind of hard to figure out sometimes. You kind of just have to line it up the best you can with what's down there. So if we put that there, that's as centered as I think I am going to get it. I know other people could probably do better than I could. Let me generate the lighting so I can actually see this. Let's see here. Now if we just look straight up, slightly off, we'll move it slightly to the right. There we go. Now that's the best we're going to get. But now what we're going to do is we're going to have the magnets on, and we are going to make our front area. Now the front area, what I did was, what I have is every single one of these is set to a 15-degree angle. Except for those, because we need to have like the flat front forward area. We'll have this here because we want to have because the Forerunners have like this weird, design. It's not really a weird design, but it's a very beautiful design in my opinion. Now we want to try to have a little round little top piece here, kind of like we see in some Forerunner structures. Now, if you want something to look like some people are gonna be able to get out of the map and kind of see the full structure, then you want to make sure this kind of goes around for a while, so that way it's not too visible that it's not a full structure. Because the whole key to a lot of maps is some people, when they build things, they don't build the map the way that it should be built, if that makes sense. They kind of just forcefully put things in a weird, awkward way, and I don't really know how to explain it. Let me see if I can. Basically, they make it to where you can see a hole on the map, and you can see like an outside texture of like all the other stuff that's kind of just slammed together. That's what it kind of looks like. But right now, the next thing we're going to use is block 4x4. Yes. No, maybe so. The reason why I say that is because you're going to use these walls to be the outline for this thing. Now that seems to be a little too wide, so we need actually a smaller block. This will do it. Yep. There we go. You got the 3x4. You need the 3x4. Now I could be wrong, and on my map it could have something completely different, but the world may never know. But where you want to have this block at is if you want to have this where it hits the bottom right here to give the best look. Now you will have another one on top, but it's not going to be this thick. You're going to have this one halfway phased into the other one, so it gives it a decent base. So that way it's not all the way, so that way it's not a really thick block. Now, this can kind of be as long as you need it to be. For me, when I was building my map, I had this kind of... I used the last block I had half of it phased into that one, and then the other half... And then, well, obviously the other half is there. My brain will work. And then what you'll do is you'll get a dish piece. And now there'll be 2 layers to the dish, and the reason why is because we don't want this to be a very, a very skinny object. We want it to look like there's a lot of structure to the into the entire thing. We don't want it to, be too small or too big, and we want it to be kind of like equally evened out. As you can see there, that's going to look like that. You can already see how the map's turning out right here. It's starting to turn out and look like the way that my map kind of has it. And if you just keep doing, if you're following this and watching this video side by side. Now, sorry if I'm forging really fast. That's just kind of how I've always done things. So if you need to, click back in the video to kind of catch up with where we're at. Now this here, again, as I said, you'll need these walls to kind of give the metal frame to the bricks here. Now on my map, I did not do this, so the dish pieces might be slightly more apart than what they are here, but this kind of looks just fine to me in my opinion. But you want to make sure that these are basically the outline of the bottom of these bricks, because if it's just a brick piece, it's not going to look good, and it's just going to look like some ancient civilization was very low on metal supplies. Well, like they didn't have a lot of metal or whatever. They used it all on one little building. No. There we go. Wait, no. And there we go. Okay, that's even now. Alright, well now, we got the hanging bit there. So far, we got the cartographer looking structure. It's here, we got everything so far. Now the next bit is to add the top bit up there, and then the rest of the stuff out in the front. And then we will add... Now, this entire building is going to be more of a static map. That the door, we will have a closed-off door, and I'll figure something out. And we'll put a little bit more terrain out here to kind of give it more of like a little bit more of a look out here, so that way we can make this more aesthetically pleasing. This is probably going to be an aesthetic map more than anything for here. But anyways, hope you guys. This will be part 1 of 2. For this Forge tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this part 1. Part 2 will not be too far behind this one. I will upload these both in the same day, so that way they're not too far apart. So I might upload this. This might be uploaded in the morning for me, and then the second part will be uploaded in the afternoon. And the reason why it's so far apart is so that way it's not a constant video thing, and it's... and I might upload these both kind of at the same time. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial. In the second part, when we finish the structure, we will work on terrain. And if it goes into a third part, then we'll see how that goes. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. And throughout this week, I'm going to try to upload some other stuff too. Since at the moment, if you didn't see the last video, I don't have a job fully at the moment. I'm looking for a new job. I wish I would have had a little bit more ahead of time warning before they let this one job let me go, but kind of should have saw it coming. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!